I'm attorney Nick Alcock. Let's take a look at the kidnapping statute in Arizona. Kidnapping is a fascinating statute in a lot of ways because it has this little safety valve feature in it. So if you are charged with kidnapping, what the state's going to be looking at is, was anybody hurt, and was the person released before the goals of the kidnapping were met, or was there an agreement with the state to allow the person to be released, whether the victim to be released without any harm, and was a weapon involved? There are all these little details that they look at in kidnapping statutes, and it makes it very, very interesting. What you really need to know about kidnapping is this, is that most of the time you see kidnapping charged as a Class 2 felony, because most of the time someone who's holding someone against their will, there's some type of injury, there's some type of goal met, there's some type of negotiation taking place, and they don't actually release the person voluntarily without injury. Also, most of the time, the people that are charged with kidnapping don't work out, some type of agreement with the state. And it's pretty rare that you actually see that. What's significant about kidnapping is that they don't actually have to injure somebody. For you to be charged with a Class 2 felony, you don't have to show that the person was really substantially injured, just they were placed in reasonable apprehension of imminent harm, that they were very afraid that they were going to be hurt. And that makes it the type of statute where kidnapping can happen kind of before you know it. I've represented a lot of people who have been driving in cars. The person who's in the passenger seat says, "Hey, I want to get out of this car," and the driver says no, there's some type of physical altercation. Well, that could be charged as kidnapping, because if the person was held against their will, and if there's some type of physical harm that took place, then you could be charged with kidnapping. So there's also unlawful imprisonment, which is a lesser included of kidnapping, and that's an offense where you're holding somebody against their will, but you're not necessarily doing it for some type of monetary gain or to extract anything out of them. Kidnapping is a Class 2 felony at worst. It could be charged dangerous, in which case you're looking at a range of 5 to 15 years in prison. Kidnapping is a Class 4 felony, that's on the low end, is the type of offense where you could potentially get between 1 and a little bit under 4 years in prison. So you see a very, very wide range of outcomes with kidnapping, again, based on the conduct of what happens during the kidnapping, whether or not there's physical injury, and whether or not the person is released before the police get involved. If you have any questions about kidnapping, give us a call, 602-989-5000, 602-989-5000. My name is Nick Alcock. I'm the owner of Alcock & Associates, and thanks so much.